if you look at our schedule, you find out that we put what we call procurement. It's not for fancy. That's where we are considering the materials that we need. We're also considering when they are going to be available. That's why we schedule it in our schedule. Okay. Then having gotten that resources, we now need to schedule the people that we use that resources to deliver the job. Having gotten the people, we now need to check if there are equipment that we needed. So remember, when we are going through our activity, I don't think we actually need any special equipment. But in real project, like in real time project, you need equipment because most of the job, like even missing the cement, they don't miss it with hand. They use a mixer machine. The excavation, most often they use excavator, right? Sometimes they encounter some stone, concrete, they use what we call a concrete cutter, right? Sometimes if it's like in Bonny Island now or in Riverline area, they use what we call dewatering machine. If you want to excavate the soil, anything below let's say 150 millimeter or up to less than 1 meter, 600 mm, you need to get a dewatering machine, else water will not allow you to do that excavation because it's prone to riverine area. Water is coming down from the ground. So any small thing you open, you start seeing water. So what we do is to install a dewatering machine that will be dehydrating or pulling out the water and make the environment dry for you to work. So all these things are equipment, so you must plan for them. If we are working in a riverine area, during our excavation, we will consider cleaning and excavation, we will consider what we call a dewatering machine here. Yeah, during our blinding of foundation, we will consider, if you can see my screen, during this stage, we will consider what we call a concrete mixer or a concrete mixer. Yeah. So we'll consider a concrete mixer during that stage. So these things are equipment we need to consider. How many are we getting, right? And what is the capacity? So we are going to consider them. Then during block laying, if it's a high riser building such as let's say two-story building, even sometimes one-story building, they normally install elevators or they install what we call overhead crane. So you will see some buildings and you will see something like a crane that normally lift material to the top of the building. They just mount it like an ATM mouse. At some point, you now see somebody will climb up, go and stay inside, and the machine will be rolling around the building and picking items and transferring it, all those things. So we call it a so we actually use it to move materials up the building, and then we call them overhead crane. Okay, we call them overhead crane. Yeah. So sincerely speaking, these are the things you need to consider. Yeah. Now, when you now come to your resources, so you must plan your resources. Remember, that's what gave rise to everything you see us do. Is based on the fact that our resources needs to be planned. If you don't plan your resources, you can't get the advantage. You can't know how to optimize it. You can't even know how to assign it because you won't even know whether it's enough or it's not enough. And before I forgot, please note there's what we call resource leveling, right, and resource smoothing. And we also take a look at it as a planner. As you are resourcing, your eye must always be on the resource spreadsheet so that you'll be able to know if your resources is aligning or if you are overloading them. When we mention overloading, we simply means giving the resources more than what they can do. Just imagine you assigning one person to work in two projects at the same time, the same day. So automatically it means the person is going to share himself into two, right? So now, it can happen by mistake or because of improper planning. You can do it in pieces, but pieces have a way of figuring it out and indicating that this person is overloaded. We'll also take a look at it as we progress. Okay, so a quick one. Let's go back to our schedule and then progress the resource loading. So any question for what I've said so far? Yeah, Stephen, go ahead.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Loud and clear, go ahead.
Okay. See, like you said, like you just said about resource allocation, how you allocate it so that you not allocate excess.
Yeah.
Okay. So my point there is this: what I want to say is this: is it that is the planner that we allocate the resources, or maybe the planner working with the appropriate people that we work in the field? Maybe a planner working with the carpenter or an engineer, the carpenter who knows the quantity of the resources to be used in a certain job. Okay, maybe so that the planner will know, the carpenter or the engineer will tell the planner what and what he needs. Then the planner will plan it, will schedule it, like allocate the resources according to the specifications of the engineer or the planner doing it on his own. I don't know. Just want you to.
Yeah, very good question. Very good question. But now we need to make it practical. So take note of this. This is common problem. There's a research I want to embark into. I found out of recent that a lot of my students, when they get job, on arrival, they felt they don't know anything. In fact, they don't trust what they know anymore, right? So I'm just doing a research to get to understand what the causes are and how best we can address it. And that's why I like this question you are asking. So now let's make it practical how it works in a real project. Now I will give you instances how you will meet it. Okay. So now remember, the question does not have one answer. It based on scenario, and I will give you some of the scenario you might meet. Now, one good scenario is a situation whereby you have understandable engineers. Now take note of this. In most projects, the engineers you have on ground are not project management and project, in fact they have not done any course in project management, so they don't understand project management. What they know is come to work, do their job and go. So they don't understand what is project management. Some of them don't even understand the goal, objective of the project they are involved. That's why most times, even when they see you as a planner, you see them fighting you. Now, if you are involved in this project whereby the project engineer don't understand what project management is, when you go to them, right, if you don't know what you are looking for, you will not get it. 100% is their responsibility to tell you the activities and tell you the number of persons to do it. But because we are human, it's only machine you can program to deliver this value. It's only machine or computer that you say, tell me this, and they will give you that. Now look at how you will getting this information from them. When you meet them and say, oh, Mr. A, so activity, can you please give me the activity sequence and the resources required for them? You understand? Some of them will say, is it not just resources? He said, some of, okay, normally some will tell you, don't disturb them, that they are busy and they will come back to you, you should come back later. When you disturb them more, they will tell you, just use 3 persons and they use 2 persons and 1 helper. You understand? When you ask them the activity sequence, some will just say, put cement, put this fact, they won't give you a clear description, right? Yeah, that is part of the feedback you will get. Now, when, like, I was talking to one guy, although the guy is not in Nigeria, right? So the feedback he got from his engineer was, the engineer told him to go to the drawing and take the activity sequence. So when he came to me and I told him, open the drawing, we opened the drawing. I said, there's no way. How can engineer told you to go to the drawing, to link activity? They say you should go to the drawing to determine the link. I said, no, there's what we call business strategies. There's what we call execution plan. What was the execution plan? And he actually started this project halfway. He did not start the planning with them. Someone did the planning and he's coming into execution. So he was not there when they are planning and he does not know the basis of all their planning, right? Now, instead of calling him and telling him, look at what we have decided to do, we plan to start from A and go to B. When we are done with B, we move to C. Or we plan to start A and B together. So someone is telling him to go to the drawing to pick that data, right? And at the end, he will be frustrated. And the same person will come to tell him that he did not do what he asked him to do, right? So now what are we saying? You might not get that feedback as per the engineer giving you that, but it's their responsibility to do that. You can also get half. Okay, another example is someone is requesting for the same information from the engineer. They are constructing a road. You know what the engineer told him? The engineer told him that in every they have about 400 and that should be 46,000 something kilometer to construct in one session. And he told him that every 5 kilometer that they will do it for 3 months. And he mentioned the step of the job. He also told him the people they are going to use. Now, you see, he gave him just a chunk, a start. He said, oh, sorry, 150 kilometers, 150, sorry, 150 meters that they are going to do it for. They are doing 150 meters a day, while 5 kilometers in 3 months. Now, it's now left for the guy to divide the total number of kilometers, right, by either convert it to meter and divide by 150 and start knowing what they are doing per day. Since 150 is a day, 150 is a day, 150 is a day. So it's left for the guy to start doing that. You see, they did not give him a detailed information. Either they give you a summary. It's not left for you, or they give you the introduction. It's not left for you to start using your brain to analyze, okay, if we can do 150 in a day, right? Which means in 2 days we are 300, 3 days we are 400. Then 46,000 something meters. How many kilometer, how many 150 meters are there? You divide it. You can now know the total days it will take you to finish that amount. So this is some of the information you'll be getting. Now, next thing you will also face is a job that will take 1 week or 2 weeks to do. So, okay, like this one now, they say 3 months, 3 months for 5 kilometers of road. Just imagine, and the client said this job they should finish it within 1 year. And this guy actually put it in his schedule with that 3 months, and he's giving him 3 to 4 years. So the question now remains, who is deceiving who? Right? Why? The guys doing the job want to stay there forever.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. You have really done justice to it. Thank you very
Okay.
much.
All right. So now, on the practical aspect, so we have actually learned how to create. We have learned how to create resources. Okay. So is to assign it. I think that is what we are doing. Yeah. So it's to assign it, and now I give assignments. Some of us are not actually doing the assignment. Sincerely, it will not help you. I won't lie. I won't lie. So this is not like a literature. The more you involve yourself in the practical, the more you are exposed and the more you will have questions. I must tell you the truth. Yeah. So I normally take my time to explain these things because I know most times it might seem tedious, but it's not tedious. It's very simple. Okay. Yeah. So now looking at this, looking at what we have here, so we have actually tried to let me remove this. I don't think I need it for now. Let me remove this. So these things are column. Oh, please take note. If any column here that you don't want, like you can see all these ones now that are here, you can remove them. I want to remove all these ones. I will leave only these resources. I want to remove all these ones. Until when the time comes when we need them, I'll bring them out. So what you do is right click here, click on column, select what you want to remove. I want to start from here. I will start taking them out. Let me start from baseline. Okay, I will be taking it out one after the other till I will leave resources. I will click apply. So all the columns have disappeared. So and this is exactly what I want. So my focus here is to reduce the space so that I can manage the available space effectively. That's just the focus why I remove them. Okay, so now we have started putting the resources. Temporary shelter, we actually have where we park our resources, and let me still minimize this, share my screen into two. So can anyone see my screen?
No, I can't see it.
And you
That's
guys,
what I wanted to say.
you guys are keeping quiet.
No, I wanted to say, but I have logged out to check if it's from my network. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay, it's up now.
Okay. All right. So this is what we have. Okay, so to put it, while we have designed this already, we just go and pick it from here and we put it. Okay, so we have done justice to the first one. The next one is temporary shelter. Another temporary shelter, we have planner, civil engineer. So I'll just click on it, double click here, it will come out. So I will just put planner. I will just screw here. I will put planner. The next person I should put there is civil engineer. The next person I will put there is the PM. Okay. So okay, PM. Okay, so now I'll go to this one, which is mobilization. It's just the work of a HR. I think we have HR here. What happened? We should have HR. Is that true that we don't have HR here? Okay, not an issue. So let me just quickly create a HR. So under resources, so let me just add HR here. Let me just say HR. Okay. Let me check things that we have omitted so that we can just add them here. Do I have QAQC? Let me put a QC guy. QA stroke QC. Do I have logistics? Do I have, okay, let me use the what we just designed here. I think it will help. Yeah. Let me use what we designed here. Okay. Trailer driver. Next one, let me put card designer. Have I done card designer? Have I done card designer? Okay. Next one, let me do, have I done procurement officer? Let me do electrical engineer. Let me do electrical technician. Let me also do Mercy in one. Mercy in one, just two mercies. Or let's say three mercies, 24. And let's put on that mercy man. Medicine team 2. Let's put another one. This is 3 persons here.
But
4. Yeah, I wanted to say something.
yes, I can see basic team 1, team 2 up.
For where are you seeing 22? Okay, sorry, I've created it. Why am I creating it again? Sorry. 24, not 22. Okay, I've created them. Okay, let me change it. Have I created Steve Fisa? Yeah, I've created Steve Fisa. Have I created what else? Okay, I think this is basically what we need here. So I will delete these ones. I don't need them. I will move these ones up. I will take these ones out, okay? All right, let me close this now. Let me go back to the activity. Okay, so under here now, under mobilization, so we all know.
But sorry, looks like you created.
Come again. Hello. So under mobilization,
I think I can. I think I can see 2 HR there.
well, from what I have here, let me check. Okay, HR is here, but that's not an issue anyway, so I can remove one. So from under mobilization, we just put HR 24. Then mobilization of equipment, we already have crane to mobilize. Then we now put logistics officer. Where do we have him? I think we have him here. So he's just showing all resources. Okay, sorry, that's
11 and 24, HR and
logistics officer, yeah. Why on key mobilization is also HR. Okay, so I think I'm using this. Which HR am I even using, sir? Which HR am I using? Okay, I'm using the 24 HR. So I'll go and delete these ones. So it won't be confusing. I'm using this one. So I will go and delete it. Let me click on resources. So I'm using HR 24. So let me delete this HR. So you just click on this S here to delete any resources you don't need. And which other one? Okay, I think that's just all. Do I added? Okay, electrical technician. Let me still delete this. I have electrical tech already. Is there anyone? Procurement officer already have it, so I need to remove this. Car designer already have it. The trailer driver I have it. KQC I have it. KQC is already here. Okay, so I think that's all. All right, let me go to the activity. Okay, so this is how we do it. So now
You have 2 key accuracy.
yeah, I've removed one. So this is how we do it.
Okay, you
So
deleted one, right?
when we go to the drawing now, we now start. Now look at how I'm going to do this. I
Okay.
have drawings. So under my drawings, instead of doing it one after the other, what I need to do here, click on the first drawing, hold down my control key, click on the second drawing, hold down my control key, and I will add the card guy. So that's how we add one person to multiple activity. I know someone was asking me how do I do it manually, and unfortunately the person is not here. So you see how I hide it. I will go to the schedule, I will click. Another thing you can do here is you can use what we call filter. Okay, so you can filter only this activity. Okay, so if you filter it, but sometimes it might be waste of time, depends, because you need to start activating filter. But if they are much, that process works. You just filter it and assign everything at once. Okay, so I'll go to schedule because the schedule is going to be developed by the planner. So I'll click on it and I look for the planner and I assign the planner. Then I go to the quality plan. So quality plan comes from the QAQC guy. Okay, so I come here, I look for the QAQC. Then I go to the HAC. This one, the HAC man will do the job. So I look for it and I select the HAC officer. And I go to the communication plan. The PM does this. So you see the way I'm holding down my shift key, please take note. I'm holding down my shift key. That's the only way I will be able to select more than one row. Execution plan is also the PM. So you see the way I assign them. Instead of assigning it one after the other, I select them and I assign it at once. Okay, so I'll go to the procurement. So procurement now, since I already know that procurement is procurement officer, so I click on the first one, hold down my shift key, click on the last one. So to select everything for me, I'll just go to the procurement officer. I'll just look for the procurement officer and I will assign it. So I've assigned everything here. So instead of doing it one after the other, so this is the way to do it. Okay, then let me go to, this is where my planning now start proper. This is where my planning start proper. So the first one here is the are you sure this thing is okay? This one is the, no, let me check something. Okay, yeah, cleaning of site. So we are using two helpers here, helpers team 2, and marking out is the engineer. The civil guy will do this marking out for us. The civil guy will do the marking out. Yeah, go ahead, Tonya.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Can anyone hear me?
Loud and clear, go
Okay,
ahead.
I don't really know what is going on here. Like, I don't know what is going on here.
So come again. When did you join?
Like, I joined a few minutes ago,
Were you in
and
our
I
last
don't know what is
class?
going on. No, but I watched the video. I was able to, like, we are talking about the milestones, how to assign things to the milestone. But like, for example, like if you say project starts, we should assign it. It's going to be the predecessor that we have to assign like to the successor. So I was trying to assign, like, let's say for the project start is the kickoff meeting. I had to assign, but it's like the date is not reflecting. It's still showing the same date everywhere. Like when I was doing other stuff. And coming here, I don't know what is going on.
Did you finish the video?
Yeah, we are talking about the resource, like resource or something.
Okay, so that's what we are talking about. So we did the milestone and we were able to finish it. So we now entered resources. That's what we are discussing now. So we are done creating the resources. We are now assigning it. Okay, so I don't know at the point you joined, but I never will ever since we have started this session, what we are doing is just
Is
to,
the this Yeah, it's just the assigning of this the resource, how to
yeah.
assign. That's where I'm having issue, like the one
Okay.
you explained now.
Okay, no issue. So what we are doing is to assign it. Remember, we created this activity, and if you watch this Excel sheet, what I did in this Excel sheet is to tell you who to assign to what. If you watch this Excel sheet, that's what we are using. Let's take, for instance, the procurement. Under procurement, if you look at our Excel sheet, we assign we assigned procurement to the procurement officer, and that's what we have assigned here. This is our P6. This is our Excel sheet. So we assign the procurement to the procurement officer. You can see them here. And we are done with the procurement now. We started from the beginning actually. Now we are going to the site works itself. Okay. Under site works, we assign helper, people that will clean the site. We put it here as helper, and that's what we have assigned here. Okay. Then the next one will be marking of the site is civil engineer and one helper. So that's what we also assign here. We assign the civil engineer and one helper here. So we'll go to the next one, which is the excavation. We say it's 6 helpers. So we are going to assign the helpers. You understand? I don't know if you understand what we are doing now. Tonya, do you get the point? Hello, am I still audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tonya, are you still with us? Okay, in case you are talking, you are muted. So just to be
Yes,
sure,
sir.
just to be sure you understand what we are doing now. So we are done with the milestone. We also created those resources we are assigning. We created them in pieces.
Yes.
And the next thing we are now doing is to assign
Yes,
them.
sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's go ahead. So now for the engineer, so what I just simply need to do is this. This is our Mercy guide. I need to start assessing my resources to make sure I did not overload. Then before I do that, let me show you people what we mean by resource overloading. So PCs have a way, as I said earlier, to identify whenever you are overloading in your resources. So PCs have a way of figuring that out. PCs have a way of figuring it out. So, and one of the things you need to do is to bring out, if you watch here, you will see this icon here, the woman being with a red bar. So it's called user spreadsheet, resource user profile. Okay. Now under resource user profile, all the resources you have assigned, this is all resources, but I can just tell you to filter only for this project. Okay. It's now giving me only the ones I've assigned in this project. You can see all of them here. Now I can start. Let me check the planner. See, the planner is well distributed. Now what if you look at this legend, anything yellow is budgeted unit. Anything blue is actual unit. This is when you start progressing your schedule. Anything green is remaining unit. What is remaining? Anything red is overloaded. So now what we do is, you see this line here is the maximum. Anyone that crosses this black thick line, it simply means that you have crossed the margin. This is the maximum margin every resource should maintain. Anyone that crosses it have crossed the margin, and that margin will be overloaded. Then to know if all my activities are overloaded, I will go through them one after the other. I will click on the PM. You see the PM is overloaded. You see all this red there, they have crossed this margin, they're overloaded. So it means the PM cannot work all the work we have assigned to him. So it's now left for me to go and check the date. Which date? They say December 2025, starting from the 24th of November till 15th of December, that PM is overloaded. Same thing start on the 5th of January till 19th, PM is overloaded. So I will now go and check that date. I can now start looking for that date, 24th of November. So you see it from 24th of November, PM is starting work on the 22nd. He's also working on the 22nd here, right, till December 10th. Then next place PM is going to work is December 10th to January 6th. So I need to check all these values for the PM. Now what will I do? Now the PM, is he going to give full days? Is he going to spend his full day into this project? Then the answer is no. PM only spend no less than 1 hour in the project. 95% of PM time is spent in communication. So I will go back to my activity window. I will start checking wherever I assign this PM. I will go to relationship. I will go to the first PM. This is the first PM that is overloaded within the 22nd. I will say no. PM maximum time you should work in this activity is 2 hours. Okay, I will go to the second one. I will say PM, you are going to work only 2 hours in this activity. Let's go and check the resource loading again. Can you see that it has reduced from 22nd, 24th of November till 10th have reduced. So it's now only this 15th. So I will still go back and I will say, look, PM on the 15th of January, look at where PM is working. You are not putting all your time. It's just to develop a document. So you can spend only 2 hours per day on that document. I will come here again and I will say PM is working only 2 hours. I will come here and I will also say PM is working only 2 hours. Okay, so I will do it for this January 28th just to align with it. So now, but if a situation whereby PM must work 8 hours, that brings the concern of what we need to bring in another PM. It means this PM cannot do that job alone. That's where we get to know that you can see it. PM now is okay, is maximally okay. So this is how we monitor overloading. Now, if this PM must work 8 hours, no two ways about it, that he must work 8 hours. So this is when we can now start talking of bringing in two project managers, right? Because one project manager can no longer do the job. I know someone have asked this question. Let me check. Is the person even in this call? Someone have asked this question. How do I know? I think someone asked the question. Is it today? How do you know how to when to bring in people? Or yeah, someone asked that question. Is it your duty to bring in resources or know who to bring or when to bring? This is how you get to know. Yeah, Rita, go ahead.
This call will end in 3 minutes.
Okay, okay, no issue. So possibly let's just join a new call. So let's okay, so that's just it, eh? So let's proceed. I hope you guys can hear me, right? Can you all hear me now?
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's go ahead. So this is how to level resources, right? And to reassign them and to know whether they are overloaded. And also one secret I will also give you. You see this line, green line you are seeing here is your S curve. Sometimes you might when we start creating S curve, that's when you might do your S curve and you want to know whether your S curve align with the P6 S curve. That's how you get to know. You just come to your PCs, open your resource user profile, check the S curve. If this S curve is the same thing you have in your own, it simply means that it aligns. Yeah, so you can scroll to the end to see how the S curve is rolling. This is how it rolls to the end. Okay, so the green line you are seeing, this particular one, that's the S curve. Okay, so let me not take you far towards this, but I also let me beep it up so that we have this knowledge as well. All right, so let's go ahead with our resource assignment. Okay, so here let me bring out the Excel sheet. Okay, so yeah, under here we have excavation and we need helpers. So I also assign this team 2, but I need to start leveling it at once. So this team 2, we actually need, sorry, I assign a messy man here. Do we need messy man for excavation? No, negative. So we don't need messy man. What we need is actually a helper. So we assign helper 2. So I just remove the messy guy. So let me assign helper 2. So remember, helper 2 is working on this first job, and this first job will last for 10 days. Right, so and at the end of that 10 days, this one will come. This one will start on the 24th of March. So helper 2 is going to be free. So helper 2 is free to still work here because they are going to be free. They are going to be free. Sorry, let me remove helper 1. Let me remove helper 1. How many helper 1 is how many budgeted labor units? Okay, it's 24, which is 3 persons. So helper 1 and helper 2, which is 6 persons, is correct. So we'll say 6 helpers. So we have the blinding. The same thing, these people, this is where I now put helper 2 and helper 3. I'll first of all put helper 3, then supported by helper 2. Okay. When you now come to the laying of block, I'll put messy 1 and helper 1. So by then helper 1 is free. When you now come to backfilling, we are using how many helpers? Backfilling is supposed to be we don't need a messy man in backfilling. So in backfilling, we are going to use helper. So yeah, helper 3 can do it. Then in filling, which is we can use helper 2. Helper 2 can do the filling for us. Okay, so we go back to the next one, marking. So the marking is the civil engineer guy. That's his job to mark it for us. After that, we lay the block. We just use helper 1 and the Mercy 2. We use Mercy 2 and we also use what we call helper 1. We use helper team 1 to do the Mercy job. The marking of windows is also done by the civil engineer. The civil engineer needs to mark out the windows sit out. So the civil engineer needs to do that. Then the next one is block laying to lintel. Yeah, we can also use the helper 2. Let's say we can use the Mercy 1 and helper team 3. So we can add this. Let me scroll down further. Yeah, so installation of window. So we need the rebar. Installation of install rebar. Yeah, we need a steel guy. To do it. Installation of formwork, we need a carpenter. I hope we have carpenter here. We need a carpenter. Are you sure we created carpenter? I'm not sure. We have carpenter here. So we need a carpenter guy to do that. Okay,
Yeah,
carpenter is here.
yeah, it's carpenter. Check where there's carpenter.
Yeah, I've seen it. So we have carpenter. So we have casting of lintel. So we just need to put helper 3 to do it. We can put helper 3 and helper 2. You just to cast the lintel. Then removing of formwork, the carpenter man comes back and remove his formwork. Okay. Then the next one is block to roof. Then we just assign the helper. Let's say helper 1 goes to for this job. Then let's say we are now using Mercy 2 to do it. We can use all the whole Mercy anyway. So we can just use everything in the Mercy field. Use the 2 Mercy 1 and Mercy 2. Okay, so when we are done with this, we now go to roofing. So roofing is strictly on carpentry job. So we click on the carpenter guy. We can also assign carpenter helpers to him. But let's leave it like this. Installation of roofing sheet, the same thing, the carpenter man. Okay, yeah. The next one is installation of roof gutter, is still this man doing the job. Okay, so after this, we go to the next one, which is finishing. So finishing ceiling is the carpenter guy that will also fast track the ceiling. Then plastering, we put the 2 messing team and helpers. We just assign these 2 messing guy and these 2 helping team. So let them support the plastering. So you store ceiling as well. We use the carpenter guy to do the ceiling work. Then install doors. Okay, the messing man, we just use 1 team of messing guy to be doing the door installation. Then install window. So the same thing, the messy guy, let's use the second team of the messy people to be installing window. Okay, so the next one is install protector. So the steel guy will help us install this protector while the messy guys will hold it. And we say install kitchen cabinet, and the carpenter man will help us and fix the kitchen cabinet. Then painting activity, I believe we have painter. I believe we have a painter here. I can't see a painter here. Okay. So pretty fine. We just need to include a painter, but I was thinking there is a painter. Okay, let me quickly add 2 painters here. Let me quickly add 2 painters. Let me go to resource assignment. Yeah, Emmanuel, go ahead.
Okay. Thank you. You mentioned of missing guy installing the door. I thought it's a collabo with carpenter and mason. Please, I thought.
Okay, so door installation is a messy job. Carpenter don come for door installation. So but what normally happen is normally these days, what we're using is aluminium door. Yeah. But if it's gonna be a wooden door, yeah, carpenter is needed. But often most doors these days are aluminium. I think wooden door is actually phasing out. Yeah. So that's the assumption here. So you don't need carpenter. If you just bring in the aluminium door, you see a messy guy will just plumb it and put it then, and that's all. So but you can also decide to collaborate.
All right,
No need
thank
to
you.
at all. You can decide to include if you felt based on your resource identification that look at the people that will do it. Yeah, there's no issue. You can include it. Okay. The next one is marking out. Conduct the mechanical, yeah, the civil guy also. Okay, the mechanical engineer needs to do that. Okay, the civil guy can do, the civil engineer will do that. Then while we now have the plumber. So from the drip pipe to the conduiting, the plumber and helper. Let me check if we have it. We did not also add plumber here. We did not add plumber here. Okay, so we're gonna create it. But I'll come back to that. So let's just put electrical engineer and electrical technician. So we have electrical engineer. I will add it. I will also go to the electrical technician. And electrical technician. Okay, these are the two people that works here. So under testing, and commissioning for electrical, so you just the electrical engineer. That's the young one that will do this. Then under mechanical, the civil engineer will cover up. Then under doors and window, we just get the carpenter guy. And sorry, the PM needs to be involved. Get the carpenter guy and also get the civil engineer. So then we need to get the PM because the PM needs to be involved on this testing because he's the one that will go and give report, tell the client or the owner of the building that we are done, and any question they ask, he should be able to answer it. So I'll quickly go back and okay, let me do the demob while I go back and fix up the mechanical, put him, bring him. Under housekeeping, our helper guys do it. So housekeeping is just very simple. It just simply means tidying up the site. Yeah, that's just what housekeeping means. So it's not like it's forget about the beautiful name. It's just cleaning the site. That's just the meaning. So our helper team one, yeah, we have um development of as built. So we give this to the CAD designer. So the CAD guy or who you call the architect. Then lesson learn register. So the PM and the planner will do this. The PM and the planner is their co-responsibility to get the lesson right. Though the team can also support them. Then the mob will meet the HR. HR officer here. HR officer should start the mobbing. The mob of equipment, sorry. The mob of equipment goes to the logistics officer. It goes to logistics officer. Then the last one, so the PM can do the handover. Okay, so let's go to the mechanical aspect of it. Yeah. So this is civil engineer. So I'll go and create plumbing, and I will delete one of the electrical engineer I saw. I will just change this to plumbing guy. Okay, so I'll go back to activity. So you can see pretty fine. This is just how you get this thing set up. Okay. It's not like it's a rocket science, right? It's just understanding who does what and then collaborating with your engineers to get it done. And automatically we are done with the linking. So this is what we call linking of activity, and pretty fine, we are done with it. Okay, so you can go ahead and start doing your leveling to make sure that you don't have any overloaded resources. Okay, so you can start looking at them to ensure you don't have any. You see, we have overloaded resources here. This is the procurement officer, and you and I know the procurement officer doesn't work much. Yeah, it's just to follow up the procurement item. So I'll just go here and reduce it. I'll go to the procurement element and I'll reduce it to 2 hours. So, and that's the end. So I'll go here and I will say procurement guy, please work 2 hours in this task. Okay, all these tasks, just 2 hours. All these tasks, just 2 hours. Okay, so that's just what it is. Okay. So under this one, I'll just say work 1 hour. Under here, I'll say work 1 hour. Um, okay, so let me go back to the resource loading. You'll find out that okay, it's still showing pretty fine. This is by February, and this is January to February. Okay, let me check if there's any other thing the procurement guy did. He's went to work for 4 hours now. Okay, let me just make it 1 hour. Let me make it 1 hour for all of them. Okay, so the whole activity is starting at the same time, so 1 hour should go. The young man have only 8 hours to work, and let me just say this one 0.5, so that it will rhyme. 0.5. Okay, so I think it should be rhyme now. So yeah, you can see it here now. So this is what it is. This is what it is. So this is how to reduce it. I think it's an advantage for you to still get this. This is an inner knowledge anyway. It's an advantage for you to get this. So we are done with the resourcing. So I don't know if anyone have questions. So we can pretty go over to the next one. Okay, so let's hear from Rita. Then Emmanuel, you come while we move over to the next item.
Okay. My question is a bit long. The first one is during my test running on that try and error on resource loading I did earlier before the class when I misunderstood the like CAD designer where I put it. I was just trying to check how to do it. I deleted once and the two refused to go out. The one is in a position where I'm supposed to be a man or an HSC. Maybe I wanted the HSCs to come first. How do I do that? Also, the how do I call it? This one you are explaining last now about budgeting units per budgeting labor units. It seems when I just want to put my head to understand it, I'm not really getting what you're saying. Can you throw
Okay, so Emmanuel, let's hear from you so that I can answer both of them. But just to reframe, your first question is that looking at this, let's say for instance here,
more light?
you wanted to put okay, let me just take from here. Okay, let's say from here you want to put helper, you want to put the mercy first before the helper, right? Is it what you mean? The resources, or you mean activity? Which one?
Yes,
It
yes,
doesn't matter. Anyone
yes.
that comes doesn't matter.
Resources.
It doesn't matter. Anyone that comes is the
Okay.
same thing. Yeah. So then the second one, what we're actually
Okay.
looking at is basically the hours they are working. Okay. So when you see us look at this resource weighted labor unit, is the hour they are working. Let's say for instance, have you experienced people going to work and they told you they work half day? Huh? Rita, have you heard about people
Yes,
working? Exactly, that's what we are
yes.
doing here. So we are saying how long are they going to work in this activity? We plan that each day they comes to work, they are supposed to work for 8 hours. But we find out that the tasks they are coming to do, they will do different tasks. They are not going to, like this procurement now. Like this procurement now, we find out that this man coming to work, he has 8 hours a day. And this procurement, if he's sending request for quotation, he will send for all of them at once. So he's not going to like spend 8 hours in one, no, he will just put all of them together and forward the request for quotation. So at the end of the day, he have other things he's going to do, right? He's not going to work on this task alone. It might also be that there are other projects he's also following up their procurement. It might also be that he's trying to get inquiry from the different vendor. It might also be that he's putting a proposal. So he have other things, but we are asking, for this activity, will he spend 8 hours each? And we said no, that each day highest he's going to spend each of them is 2 hours or 1 hour. That's why we are reducing the hours he's going to put in to 2 hours. But however, we understand the fact that he have maximum of 8 hours to work a day. The same thing with the project manager. Then watch the execution guys, we did not touch them because we know that if a helper comes to job, he's going to support that activity throughout the day. So that's why we did not touch it. We allowed them to work their maximum time. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay, so that's what is happening. So now for project manager, remember, project manager job is not one thing. He's managing the whole project. And according to project manager and PMI, which is the Project Management Institute, they said that the project manager spends 95% of their time in coordination and communication, trying to coordinate things. So the actual job they are doing is just 5%. So whenever you see a project manager, he's either sending a mail to the stakeholders or to the MD, right? He's either talking to his team to know if they have issues, right? He's either communicating what the stakeholders told him or the CEO told him to the team. He's trying to make things work. He's either aligning, getting updates. So all those things are communication. So a project manager, you can't see him picking trowel to start laying block. No, no, he's either coordinating or communicating, and we say he spend 95% of his time. Now, we now have a document for him to do. So since we know that he spend more time doing other things, he won't spend more than 2 hours a day to work on this document. He has 14 days to do it. He might even do this document within 4 hours. He have finished everything. These 14 days now, he's working for only 4 hours on this document. I don't know if that's making sense now. That's why we are reducing their man hour. They are not going to be putting the maximum time. They are actually using minimum time to do this job. So I don't know if that is clear. So if that is eventually clear, so let's look at the next one. So after resource loading, who can tell us what else do we need to do in our schedule? We have resource load it, we have linked it. Yeah. So what else do we need to do? Who can tell us? Rita, is your hand up or the old hand?
Sorry, it's the old hand. Sorry.
Okay, so after resource loading our schedule, what else can we do? Okay, so the next thing we need to do at this point is to,
We assign costs.
yes, if you have cost item, but remember we don't assign cost. The resources you are loading, the cost is in the resources. So you don't need to assign any other cost. If you have resource loads, if you have cost loaded the resources, so as you are assigning the resources, you are assigning the cost. So, but the next thing we need to do is we now export our schedule and send it out for our team to review. So, but I want to teach us something before we proceed to, although we have done how to export, which is what we just need to do to export it and send it to our team for review. And after reviewing it, we can now come back and create our baseline. Okay. So now, since we have resource loaded it, I want to teach us something. There's something we call activity code. So please take note. Activity code, most times most of us will be going for short-down interview, right? So they will answer you this question. Is a must in a short-down interview. Please take note of that, right? Now, in a short-down interview, they will always ask you, other than this WBS, you can see this WBS you are seeing, right? We actually organize this schedule with this WBS. So when we talk of milestone, this thing contains all the milestone. We talk of preliminary, this contains all the preliminary. We talk of what we are mobilizing, this contains what we are mobilizing. Now somebody in short-down interview, they will ask you, other than this WBS, what else can you use to organize your project without WBS? So please, whenever you hear that question, remember activity code. So just tell the person that without WBS, you can use activity code to organize your project. Please take note of that. So now the question remains, why are they interested in activity code in shutdown? So because shutdown is a collaborative and integrated schedule that you can have more than 20 to 30 contractors, or sometimes you will have, let's say, 16 departments, you now have additional different contractors like 6 or 7 contractors, making it about 27 or 20 something persons involved developing different schedule. So this contractor will develop their own, the unit will develop their own, you bring it together and you integrate it. So we will not start having mobilization for civil department, mobilization for electrical department, no. So we now use activity code to build everything into one. So whenever we say mobilization, we filter all the whole mobilization in one mobilization. So the concept is the use of activity code. So I will now teach us how to do activity code. The next thing activity code help us to do is to filter. Now just recall that you are in a project schedule meeting, review meeting, and you open your PCs, and let's assume this project have about 10,000 activity, right? Okay, let me just give a live scenario on this. I think I have a project that have that capacity here. Let me check if I have not altered it. Okay, so let me open this project. So now, then the project you are working on have about 10,000 activity, okay? And you are now called. You are now called to pick an activity. You don't even know the location, but you know it's in your schedule. So watch this activity. If I start scrolling down this project now, right, it might take me 2 to 3 minutes to locate. Okay, let me scroll to the end also to confirm. So this one is just 3,400. There is one that have about 10,000.
Please, we can see your screen now.
Can you see it now?
Not yet.
Is it reachable now?
Yes. It's
Okay,
about
okay. Are you seeing it now?
yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so like this activity is about 3,000 something, but there's one that have about 10,000 something activity. So now you are asked to pick, let's say you're asked to pick one information electrical, right? So you start scrolling up and down. So what we normally do is we create activity codes so that as soon as someone asks you to get this information or what is this, you can just quickly filter by the activity code and you get it. So it's very important in a large amount of when you are working with a large volume of data in a project. So you just a project that involves large volume of data, so you need to know how to create it. Okay, let's go back to the project we are working and then let's create activity code. So now activity code can be created using different scenario. Now it's just left for you to know how best you want to organize your data. Let's assume this project involve electrical, mechanical, and civil. So I can decide to create activity codes that involve mechanical, electrical, and civil. So any activity that is electrical activity, I will assign electrical activity. And anyone that is mechanical, I will assign mechanical. Anyone that is civil related, I will assign civil related. So you have created this. If you want to know the civil task, I will just quickly click filter by civil activity. I will see all the civil activity. But a simple example I'm going to use here is to assign it based on WBS. If I want to see all the milestones, I will just click on milestone. Remember, this thing you can't filter by all these WBS you are seeing. That's where activity code now comes in, because since we cannot filter by all these headings, right? If I want to see only the activity in preliminary, I cannot filter by this preliminary. I need to scroll down here. But with activity code, I can just filter and get only this, irrespective of the location in a project. I can just filter and get it. That is what activity code does. So by definition, we said activity code is a code assigned to activity to uniquely or to identify each of those activity to organize, to identify, organize, and retrieve each of those activity. As a matter of fact, we use activity code, and that is what we call activity code. Okay, so to do it, first thing we do here is you go to enterprise, you click on activity code. Okay, activity codes, it will come out like this. Yeah. So the next thing you do is you confirm where you want to create it. Now, in this case, I want to create it under project, right? So I will go to modify. I will click on add. Yeah, so here I will now say what is the heading. Now I want to do WBS. So I'll now put WBS level. I'll say WBS level. So if I want to do discipline, I want to do department, I want to do unit, or I want to do area or field, so it's my choice, WBS level. So take note, depend on what you want to put inside, that's what you will name it. So I'll close it. So automatically you will see here, you will see my WBS level here. So I'll now start adding. First of all, I will add based on all this WBS level. The first one I will add here is milestone. I will use a code like MIL. Then here I will do the milestone. I'll write it in full. I will add another one, which is preliminary. I will do PRE. Sorry, I need to make it capital letter. While under here, I will do the milestone. Okay, so I will put the next one. The next one here is mobilization. I will put MOB, and under here I will make it to mobilization. Next one is design and documentation. So I will click on add. I will put it DD. While here I will put design and documentation. So the next one is site works. Next one is site work. So I can choose to break it down. Okay, let me just put site. And here I'll put site works. The next one is testing and commissioning. I will put testing and commissioning. And here I will put testing and commissioning. So the next one I want to put, remember I'm taking all these things for those of us who might be asking where am I getting this value. I'm taking all these things from our level 2 WBS. Please let me bring it out. I will say collapse to level 2 WBS. I think it will be helpful so that we'll be on the same page. I will click on OK. So this is the names I'm taking. Okay. So don't be confused about it. I'm taking these names. I already have them off and that's why I'm taking it. I stopped at testing and commissioning. The next one is the mob and handover. So I'll go back and I'll click on activity code. So it has opened. Look at where I stop. This one is the mob and handover. The mob and handover. And here I will do the mob. Okay, so automatically here I will just do close. So if I'm done here, I'll just close it. That's it. Next thing is to assign it. Okay, to assign it, the same way I brought out these resources, I will just create a space here and I'll bring out the WBS level. So I'll right click here, I will click on column. So I will go to activity code. You can see activity code here under project. You see my WBS level and I will bring it out. That's all. So that's all. It's out here. So I'll click on apply and OK. So you see it here. So I'll now expand this. I will say expand all. I will say expand all. So I'll now expand this and start assigning it. So how do I assign it? Everything that is under milestone, I will assign the milestone. Like here now, click here. Nothing is coming out. I click on this drop down, click on filter. I will say all. Okay, I will say milestone. I will click on milestone. I have assigned milestone to the first milestone. So I will press my shift key, click on the last milestone activity. I will right click and I will say fill down. So this milestone will automatically fill in all of them. This is how you do copy and paste in a column only. If you copy here and paste it, everything here will rewrite. So but to rewrite only a column, you select the first one and you right click and do fill down. Let's do it again. On preliminary, I click on the first preliminary column, it comes out, I select preliminary. Now I click on shift on my keyboard, click on the last preliminary item, I will right click and I will say fill down. It will take this PER and multiply them onto this task. I'm assigning the activity code now. Under mobilization, the same thing. I double click here, it will come up. I will take mobilization. I click on the last one, right, and I right click and I say fill down. Under here, this one, all these ones now are basically site works. I'll click on it. Go to the last site works. Hold down my shift key, I click on it here. I'll right click and I'll say fill down. And I'll allow it to come. All right. The next one is commissioning. I'll just come here, I'll double click. Remember, you can do these things one after the other. Like here now, I can do it commissioning. I go to the next one, I take testing and commissioning. I go to the last one, but it's a waste of time. So that's why I'm giving you small expo. But don't allow it to confuse you. If you can't do it, please do it one after the other like this. Let's say the mob, I'll do it. I will go ahead, I'll do it. I'll do it. But I should have finished this thing long time ago if I'm using that method. So that's just what you need to understand. Okay, so instead of wasting all this time, you can save time. Remember, time saving, when you save time, someone will say you are efficient. Take note of that. Okay, that's pretty fine. I'm done. Now, how do I use it? How do I use it? Okay, now let's say for instance, I want to filter all the whole let's say I want to filter all the whole procurement tax. Okay, I will go to this task filter. Sorry, can anyone still hear me? Can anyone hear me?
In my side, you're breaking.
But is it better now?
Yes, yes. But your screen is not.
I can hear you clearly.
Can you see my screen now?
It's
Yes,
up now.
yes, yes.
Antonia, do you have you here now? I'm seeing your chat. Do you have blessing? All right.
Yes, I wasn't following up. I wasn't hearing anything. I don't know if it
Are,
just.
are you hearing now? Hello, Antonia, are you hearing us now? Okay, I think network is somehow funny today anyway.
She should log out and log in.
Okay, so I think so. One more thing before we close for today is how to filter this activity code. So for you to filter activity code, you click on this filter, okay, and then you go down, you create a filter. You can create a filter. Okay, let me just create a filter. I click on new filter. Let me say I want to filter my WBS, so I can just say put a name here. I will say WBS filter. I will say WBS filter. Okay, so under here, I will say where activity ID, sorry, where activity code. So I'll look for activity code. Or okay, let me say where WBS level is equals to. I'll just do is equals to. I will come here. I will take which one. Let's say I want to take procurement. I say where WBS level is equals to procurement. We did not assign procurement to. Okay, let's do for mobilization. Okay, I will say apply. Okay, and I will say apply. So if I filter it now, you can see you are only seeing, if I click OK, you're only seeing mobilization. So this is how you filter. Then if you don't want to be seeing all these anti-WBS, you right click here and you say group and sort. Then you say hide empty. If you click hide empty here, you click apply. So it will hide all the whole empty WBS. So you now see only this. So this is basically what the activity code does for you. So if you want to remove it, you click here, you say all activity, you say apply, it will bring out all the whole activity. So let's check procurement. What happened? I did not see any procurement assigned. Is it that we did not create it or we don't have procurement? So even procurement, I did site work. So let me correct it. Did I even create procurement? That's the question to answer. So I never created procurement. So I will go back to enterprise. I will go to activity code. So I will add procurement. I will click on add and I will put procurement PRO. Okay, so I will click on close. So automatically I will come here, I will double click here, I will take procurement, I will hold down my shift key, click on the last procurement item, Yeah, and I will right click and I will say fill down. So it will change what I have there. So I can now go and say, look, I want to filter. I'll go back. I've already created a filter. I just need to locate the filter I've created. So you see my WBS filter. It should be somewhere here. WBS filter. Look at it here. I will say modify. Since I want to use it to filter another thing, I will say now where WBS ID is equals to, now I'll put procurement here. I'll put procurement. I will click OK and I will say OK, I will do apply. So it just show me only procurement activity. So you can see the procurement activity. So please take note, these are the things you are going to be seeing. Sorry, what did I select? Are you sure I applied it? It shouldn't show me everything. So let's check what happens. Okay, I did not apply it. So I'll take this filter. I will say apply. Okay, so it's going to show you only procurement activity. You see all the whole procurement activity. So this is how, in case your manager or your PM walks in and say, look, I want to see all the whole long lead item. I want to see all the whole procurement item, right? Or I want to see all the whole critical activity. You can do that. Critical activity, you can filter it. PCs even have done the job very easy for us. You can come here, you see all the critical activities. So you can see the critical activity, PCs created the filter already. You can say, I want to see all the whole critical activity. Just activate it here and you press apply. So all the whole critical activity, that's what you are seeing here. What is critical activity? These are activity in red colors, right? That if you delete them, they will impact on the project finish date. Yeah. So you want to see all the whole project that have started and we call it in progress. So you click here, you activate this one, right? You remove this one and you click apply. So none have started. We have not started any activity yet. Okay, if you want to see all that are non-critical, you can see it here. So this is how you do some filtering in PCs. Do you have any question on this? So we'll be stopping here. So in our next class, we are going to proceed. We are going to proceed with baselining, and we are going to also do look ahead. Right? We'll develop look ahead and we'll baseline it and redo the exporting. So basically we'll be rounding up the scheduling aspect of this program in our next class, and not that we won't use it again, we'll come back to it when we are trying to update our schedule. So we'll be going to the next part of the class, which is developing our tracking sheet. So but let's hear from, I saw someone's hand up, let's hear from you before we wrap up today's class. Okay, Rita, you can go ahead.
Okay, I wanted to ask two of my old questions before the thing will not be overstaying. Can I ask? Is outside these resources? Can I ask it?
Go ahead, go ahead.
Okay, when I was doing that, that one of trying